Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Friday, the 5th of January. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up, we share with you the work of Seward Johnson, a world-renowned sculptor. His sculptures, at least 5 of them, are in the Middle Tennessee area at this time. We share with you where you can visit these lifelike bronze statues, and it's a spot you need to make a visit to before the middle of the month. After that, for our Financial Friday, we talk about mortgage basics, and then we have a piece from What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo. We talk aviary and what you can discover at their aviary space there at the Nashville Zoo. It's extraordinary. But first, let's get a check of our headlines and stories that you'll find at our website, mainstreetmediatn.com. Looking at and analyzing types of vaccines of cows and calves is the focus of Keith Hunter's report that you'll find at mainstreetmediatn.com right now. This may help give a better base of knowledge for making decisions about vaccinating. You can read much more about the common vaccines used by going to our website and then going to the Cheatham County Exchange. Congratulations, Rachel Evans of Mount Juliet. She's a photographer who captured this beautiful picture. Evans' photo, Squirrels, has been chosen as one of the 12 monthly photos to be featured in the Tennessee Wildlife Federation's 2024 calendar. Let us also say congratulations to the 17 other Tennessee photographers who had pictures selected for the calendar. You can head over to our website and learn how many submissions were made, and there were a lot made for this calendar. Just go to, once again, our website and find the Wilson Post. And thank you, Mary Hance, Miss Cheap, for sharing this right here. You get a free pass to the Hermitage on Monday, January 8th. Now, this free pass is for the Hermitage to help commemorate the Battle of New Orleans. This was a crucial American victory during the War of 1812 and the event that actually catapulted Jackson to national fame and recognition. Learn more at mainstreetmediatn.com. Let's get a check of the weather now because, of course, that's going to dictate what we do this weekend. We turn to the team at Tennessee Valley Weather for that forecast.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Happy Friday to you. Ben Luna here with you in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, wishing you a fantastic day as you check out Mornings on Main Street. Well, it's going to be a soggy trip down Main Street as you head through the region this evening and into tomorrow morning. We've got a big old storm system rolling into the region. As we look ahead to the mid to late afternoon hours of today, showers will continue across a good chunk of the mid-state region straight into tomorrow morning. Now, the bulk of the heavier rainfall stays way south of us, but there's going to be a few spots across the area that could pick up some much needed rain in the ballpark of maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain, again, depending on your exact location. The bulk of that activity south of I-40, and again, the bulk of the heaviest rain on into central Alabama. We do clear out for a time on Saturday, could pick up a brief sprinkle on Sunday, mainly up toward the metro Nashville area and east along the Cumberland Plateau. Again, that's just a small chance for a sprinkle of rainfall on Sunday. And then we're watching this system Monday into Tuesday. It's going to be an evening into early morning hour storm event. Severe weather stays to our south, but this guy's going to bring in a lot of rain to the area. Again, looking ahead Monday into Tuesday, that system ends in the region as a few snow flurries Tuesday night, okay? Nothing to really worry about, just a few little flakes flying around Tuesday evening for a while, and then we'll finally clear out Wednesday and Thursday, looking pretty good. That is a complex and a lot to take in 7-day forecast, but we appreciate you watching. For more on this weather, you can find it over at tnvalleyweather.com. I'll leave you with a final check on that forecast. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching us today. Hope you have a great Friday. We'll talk to you soon.
Beginning January 1, Delta Dental of Tennessee is introducing enhanced benefits for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
It'll include extra cleaning times for people with special needs, extra time for exams. More importantly, we will create a training program that any dentist office in the state can go online and pick that up.
At Delta Dental, we believe that the quality of oral health care should be accessible and inclusive for all.
He shoots, and he scores! This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Witness more than 1,000 handcrafted Chinese lanterns featuring brand new designs, including towering mythical beasts, a life-sized Santa's workshop, and a 100-foot-long dragon. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Now may be the time to take a trip to Murfreesboro because you have an incredible opportunity to get a look at 5 sculptures created by someone that in the 80s was referred to as America's most popular sculptor. I'm talking Seward Johnson, and to tell us more about what you can see, what you can find there until the middle of January, we have the marketing director from Main Street Murfreesboro, Alicia Stachura. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I have to say, these sculptures are just incredible and so lifelike. What can we see there? And you said you have 5 sculptures on hand right now?
Yes, we do. And so Seward Johnson once said, I want my work to disappear into the landscapes and then take the viewer on a surprise. And once they get over the shock of being fooled, now they're on an emotional discovery. And that's just what we have here in Murfreesboro. They are lifelike. And so you just think, so like there's one that's called Creating, and it's a man that's sitting by a tree doing a little painting on his sketchbook. And you think he's real until you get up on him. And so every single one of these sculptures are much like that. And so we have one at Oakland's Mansion. There's one on the Murfreesboro Square, the Discovery Center at Murphy Springs, the Center for the Arts, and the Lombard Public Library. So these are all very easily able to get to either on foot traffic or by car.
How wonderful that is. And they really, what he does and what I've learned, taking that 2-dimensional painting, turning it into that 3-dimensional to bring people in with that lifelike look. Something I want to share, and I'm sure you saw this as well. He put out, I looked over the body of my work and found a common strain. In each case, I celebrated a moment when the individual had taken control of his or her life. And you can see it on the faces of these sculptures. Do you feel the same?
Yes. And what I love the most is with art, it's always about look, but don't touch. And each sculpture, like you can take pictures, you can touch it, you can be with the sculpture. And so it's not one of those, like you're walking into a museum and you're standing behind some ropes. It's very interactive.
How special is this for Murfreesboro to have there? And what was that process for you at Main Street Murfreesboro?
So we had to apply for a grant, and there was some community partners that went in with us on that. And so we had to, once we secured those funds and partnered and got the approval and all the legal things together, Seward Johnson brought those sculptures in, and then we found placements for them where we thought they would be most visible in the community, where anyone, whether you were hiking, you were on a jog, working out, if you were homeless, if you were walking, shopping, visiting a museum, we wanted them to be where people would see them the most.
God, and did you get to pick these sculptures that you have? Did they have like different ones that you could choose from?
I'm not exactly sure on that exact one. Sarah Callender, our executive director, played all the behind the scenes on that part. But I will say the placements of each sculpture resembles where they are. So like for the Center of the Arts, the sculptures played a violin. At the Discovery Center, which is for children, they are the one behind you there. That's where no hands. And so that one is placed at the Discovery Center, which is where kids are. And so if I had to guess, maybe there was some partnering and some strategy behind that.
I had to say this is the one I've seen because I guess it was placed there during, like right before I did an interview there with the Discovery Center. And I had to look twice because I was like, oh, what are those kids? Wait, that's not real.
Yes. And so each one and just because we're on the Murfreesboro Square, there's the guy that's painting the courthouse, looking at the courthouse. And just because that's kind of where I am most of the time, I just love seeing people's reactions. Like they want to walk up and talk to him. And like, then they get closer and they're like, oh, that's not a person.
Well, Alicia, tell me, what have you heard from people there in the community? Because you were sharing with us before we got started that you've had several events in certain locations where people have really been able to go and, really see it. And what have you heard?
They absolutely love it. So this is the first time we've ever had this in Murfreesboro because there's a lot of logistics behind it. And so a lot of responsibility for it, funding. And so the people absolutely love it. And wherever the sculptures are strategically placed, those places hosted events. Oakland Mansion always has something going on. The Oktoberfest, we had the Christmas tree lighting, the Borough Dash, the Center for the Arts always has plays and different things going on. The Discovery Center had the STEAM Festival this year. And so there was opportunity that wasn't normally there just because of the time of the year it was. So we were able to capitalize on that. And so we look forward. We would love to have different sculptures back in the future.
Oh, 100%. Well, as you mentioned, time is running out to see these sculptures. How long do we have?
Mid-January. We don't have a deadline date yet. We know it's soon just because they have to come and secure the trucks and all the things. So I'm going to say probably a week or two. So hurry fast.
We most definitely will. Thank you so much, Alicia, for your time and for what you do. What else is on the horizon there with Main Street Murfreesboro as we move into this new year?
So our shopping event that we have is the first event that Main Street has, and it's going to be on Friday this year on March 15th. So that's the first thing up for us.
Can't wait. Alicia Stachura, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it and encourage everyone to go out there and see the sculptures while you have a chance.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime. Just a little side note on Seward Johnson. Now, it started for him in a beginner sculpture class. You can learn so much about his work by just a simple Google. And I tell you, it's phenomenal with what he's done. His work was to strengthen communities through his artwork. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We'll be right back.
At Implant and General Dentistry, we're proud to offer dental care you can trust. Our team, led by Dr. Andrew Flips, is dedicated to serving our community with the highest quality of care. We offer comprehensive dental exams, cleanings, whitening, and more. With our compassionate and experienced team, you'll be able to smile with confidence. Come experience the difference for yourself. Call us today to schedule an appointment or visit our website to learn more.
Sherry's Hope is dedicated to sharing the hope of Christ, protecting the health of our community, and supporting those who are fighting cancer. You can be a champion of hope this season. When you give monthly to Sherry's Hope, you help meet the needs of families in our community as they are battling cancer. Your monthly gift of $10 or more gives hope all year. Together, we can make a difference.
At Chapels, we pride ourselves on offering a wide variety of the freshest fruits and vegetables, handpicked just for you. We have a wide selection of the freshest, highest quality meats that will leave your taste buds craving more. Our friendly staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. We believe in treating every customer like family because at Chapels, your family is our family. We've been locally owned and operated for over 60 years. You can visit any of our Chapels locations in Dixon, White Bluff, McEwen, and Centerville.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. It is Friday. It is time for a Financial Friday segment. Today's topic, mortgage basics. To share with us the information and knowledge that she possesses, we have Rena Buckley. She's the mortgage origination manager with Ascend Federal Credit Union. First off, Rena, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure. So, information on mortgages is incredibly important for all of us homeowners. I want to start off with the first question of what are some tips for first-time home buyers in today's market, because it can be stressful and tricky getting your first home.
Absolutely. So in today's market, it's really crucial for first-time homebuyers to start by assessing their financial health. Understanding your budget and getting pre-qualified for a mortgage are essential steps to start the process. You will also want to research the current market conditions and be prepared for potential competition. If you have flexibility with your wish list and a willingness to compromise, this can help make the process smoother. Many lenders like Ascend offer free educational resources. Take advantage of these and to increase your knowledge about the mortgage process and home ownership. And since credit plays such a critical part in the process, you will want to know what's on your credit report and also understand your debt to income ratio. If you have never borrowed money, have no existing credit, or have negative credit, these are things you will want to address now. A mortgage originator can help you with this. They can create a plan of action to assist you along the way.
Got it. And I'm just curious for you, what was it that got you into this to want to help home buyers and people in this process?
Sure. So I have been with the credit union for just over 18 years now. Started as a teller and worked my way up. When I was on the consumer lending side, I learned very quickly I wanted to get into the real estate side. This is the largest purchase of someone's life. And to be able to really help guide them throughout that process and be the person they go to with all of their questions. And it's such a huge rewarding job to be able to help someone buy a home, whether it's their first one or their 10th.
And I love that because you really are that hand holder and that person of comfort. So can you explain to us now this morning the concept of that private mortgage insurance, PMI, and how it impacts home buyers?
Absolutely. So private mortgage insurance is typically required when the buyer does not have a 20% down payment towards the purchase of the home. PMI does protect the lender in the event that the borrower defaults on the loan. While it does add an additional cost to that borrower, it allows them to enter into the housing market with a smaller down payment.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for that answer on that one. And then looking at the types of loans, choosing the right one, what are those maybe key differences between a fixed rate and an adjustable rate mortgage? And when might one be more beneficial than the other one?
Sure. So with fixed rates, you have a stable interest rate throughout the life of the loan. It provides predictability for budgeting. You know that principal and interest payment will not change for the life of the loan. Adjustable rates, or as we call them, ARMs, are fixed for a period of time, but then will fluctuate. They do offer lower initial rates, and with Ascend, these loans do not require that PMI, even if you do not have a 20% down payment. However, with ARMs, they do come with a risk that the rate can increase in the future. Choosing between a fixed or an adjustable rate is really going to depend on that borrower's risk tolerance and how long they plan to stay in the home. If a borrower does not anticipate staying in that home long term or plans to refinance, maybe they think interest rates will drop in the future, then in that case, an adjustable rate could be a good fit for them.
So I did work in real estate for a period of time, and I know there was something that we did always want. We required a pre-approval or pre-qualification letter for, the individual putting in, their bid for a house. Why is getting that pre-approval or pre-qualification letter important for a potential home buyer?
Getting pre-qualified for a mortgage is crucial as it's going to let that home buyer know and have a clear understanding of their purchasing power. And it's going to strengthen their offer when they do find the home that they're ready to purchase. Most realtors and sellers often are going to prefer to work with borrowers who have been through the process and have been pre-qualified, as it lets them know the borrower is ready and capable of purchasing this home, and it's going to accelerate the closing process.
Speaking of closing process, closing costs play a big overall role in the cost of purchasing a home. Are there ways to maybe minimize those expenses?
So closing costs are going to be the fees associated with finalizing a real estate transaction and can include an appraisal fee, title insurance, and more. So working closely with a mortgage advisor can help identify ways to reduce the borrower's funds needed at closing, such as negotiating with the seller to help cover certain expenses. Additionally, you'll want to shop around with different title companies, different insurance companies, and even mortgage lenders to find the best deals for you.
Good to know there. Last question for you this morning, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate your time. Any resources, what resources might Ascend offer to those who come in?
So Ascend offers a range of resources, starting with our knowledgeable mortgage originators. We also provide educational materials, have online calculators and worksheets, and offer free mortgage workshops to help potential homebuyers qualify and navigate the mortgage process effectively.
And I always say knowledge is power. So for someone to take advantage of that would be incredibly beneficial. Mortgage Origination Manager, Rena Buckley, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for all of that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Grin Doctors, your trusted pediatric dentistry and orthodontics practice. Achieve healthy, beautiful smiles with our expert care. At Grin Doctors, we are committed to your child's oral health and well-being. Trust Grin Doctors, your pediatric dental home for exceptional care. We go above and beyond to ensure the comfort and satisfaction of our young patients. Grin Doctors Kids Dental and Orthodontics is right down the street in Old Hickory, TN. Easy to get to and in your neighborhood.
You know that feeling you get when your team goes big? You can get that same feeling on Zen Sports. When you sign up for a Zen Sports account, you will receive up to a $1,000 no-danger first wager. That's right. When you place your first bet in Zen Sports, you can be reimbursed for the amount of your first bet up to a $1,000 maximum if the bet loses. No other sportsbook will offer you a premier sports betting experience with 24/7 customer support and faster withdrawals like Zen Sports. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. 12 species of birds, 2 types of turtles, a couple lizards, and a sloth. All can be found in the aviary space at the Nashville Zoo. You know what? The longer you stay, the more you see. We learned quite a bit this morning from the piece that we have from At the Zoo with Jim Bartoo. Here's more of what you can find at their aviary space at Nashville Zoo.
We have got our, and Sean Ployd is with us, and you're the avian keeper?
Yes. So I work in this area. Everything you see in here is kind of under my care, from the plants to the birds to the sloth to the turtles. Everything is in here.
All some of my favorite things. I don't even think about an aviary as being a place for anything other than birds, but you've got all sorts of things in here.
We have about 12 species of birds in here. But we have 2 species of a turtle, and we have a couple of species of lizards, and we have a 2-toed sloth. So there's plenty of things to see in our Unseen New World aviary.
And the interesting thing about this aviary, it's not a cage.
No, everybody's free flying. Everybody's in here doing their own thing, so it's kind of like a discovery space. So the more you look, the more you'll see, and the more you'll want to look some more.
Yeah, that's a really good description. The longer you spend in here, the more you notice and the more you see. Kind of like a Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
You know, you notice new things every time you're in here, and the longer you spend in here.
You know, I kind of wonder what they're saying while they're watching us do this. Do they know they're on TV? Do you kind of get to know the animals in here? Do they have a personality where you can get to know them?
They do. It's probably hard for outside guests to kind of see those facial expressions that birds can make. But for me, I can usually see some facial expressions. It's a lot of little details because we have birds that are only like 15 grams. So like the size of your palm. So really
like a hummingbird size.
Yeah, like a hummingbird size. And so like you're looking at like small details. So if anything, even on a good day, so if anything looks like they're in a breeding mode, we can like kind of teach those behaviors, record them. It's kind of taking those little, that's interesting. But that interesting 3 days later might be something important.
What are some of the species that you have here in this aviary?
So most of the birds in here are from Central and South America.
Okay.
The noisiest bird that you'll hear behind us is actually an African bird. But most of the birds in here are from Central and South America. So I like to summarize the spaces. Like when our birds fly south for the wintertime, this is the habitat, and these are the birds that our birds and our backyard birds are hanging out with when we're celebrating Christmas.
Interesting.
No kidding.
And when people come in here, you have a card that people can pick
so
up.
we have
Show us that.
we have a discovery card or identification guide that kind of lists all the birds that are in here, including the two-toed sloth. And so
Not a bird, by the way.
Yeah, not a bird, but people want to know what he looks like and just like Jim mentioned earlier, like a Where's Waldo of all the birds and the creatures that are in here. There's a QR code that kind of tells you a little bit more about each one, but you can kind of see that they are different shapes and sizes. There are over 10,000 species of birds out in the wild, twice as many bird species than there are mammal species, only about 5,000 species of mammals, but they come in such an array of colors and sizes, and just as diverse as the mammals.
The colors are beautiful, and since they come from other countries, how do you get them here? I know we're talking about the rhinos, how we got them here. How do you get the birds here?
So most of the birds in here come from other zoos. We participate in a species survival plan. So it's so when a bird hatches, usually we already have a plan of where it's going to go from here or there. But sometimes we do still get birds from the wild, but that just helps our genetic diversity here in captivity. Our able to kind of see the lineage in captive birds helps us genetically, but having a founding species once in a while also benefits us as that.
Any of the birds that we have in here endangered or threatened in the wild? Is anything kind of under that ICUN list as threatened?
No, and that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. Having endangered birds is really great so that people can kind of see that once in a lifetime. But a lot of the birds that are in here are ambassadors for those endangered birds that don't necessarily do well in captivity.
Right. Do they know? Do they? It's they have their little Century 21 outfits on.
Yeah,
we're ambassadors.
Yeah. So some of these birds, like some of the tanager species, are actually what we would call cafe birds.
Yeah.
So that if you went down to Peru, you would maybe see them at a cafe, kind of eating crumbs off the ground. So they're fairly common, but they help get your interest, and hopefully you being interested in them makes you want to preserve the habitat for the ones that are endangered.
Well, we did just learn a little bit about the birds there at the Nashville Zoo and the aviary space they have for us to visit. Well, today, January 5th, it is National Bird Day, a day that is used to bring awareness to the endangered species of birds out there. But again, if you'd like to learn a little bit more, you can do that just by going to the Nashville Zoo or researching online a little. Well, thanks so much for joining us here this morning. We always love having you stop by. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday morning.